Hello, here's another installment of my weekly process videos. This one's going to be about this DNA structure. Well, it started out as a wire thought, and then I started thinking about it as a tube made out of triangles like this. I made this about 15 years ago, and I could stand on it. So it's strong, and I thought, I bet I can make DNA out of this. So I drew it up. Um, then drew it underneath the life-size figures and started thinking about how am I going to mock this up and see what it's like in 3D. So I used ducting and tape to match that up. Now this is talking to the digital people, CAD, and they drew this, and then it needed to be shifted up because DNA is not even. And then here is a digital rendering that I had to think about, like, how am I going to make that digital rendering into reality? So I decided to think about it as a center line running down the center of a tube. And then those are the relationship between the two tubes being the center lines. I'm feeling like that's looking pretty good. Then I got to create this jig to build the actual structure. And I would build it inside of the jig. So here's a part of the jig. And now there's 680 of them. And I'm welding them to those two rods that were spiraling around each other. And there it is, pretty much chaos, which I really like this. I feel like I should make a sculpture of that someday. Now I'm refining it and making it look like triangle tubes. And there it is, pretty close. Still not completely refined, but I feel like it's working. So now I'm welding it all together. And now it's structural. So I can cut out that center part that was all connected to. And there it is, with some of the center removed. And there it is with quite a bit of the center removed. So now those tubes actually hold themselves up and they're somewhat structural. Now it's time to build it. So each piece is cut, measured individually, and tacked into this jig. And there I am working on the linear pieces. And I'm really digging it. I feel like this is absolutely working. And this was all built by hand, by eye, no computers. I was just trying to copy what I saw in that digital thing. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close. Now I'm starting to put the other directions. And now it's finished. All those pieces. That was a lot of work. So now we take those two swirls apart and weld them together. This is my friend. He did all the Tig welding and on the separate spirals. That was a lot of work. Totally insane. Now they're put together in my shop, and I'm using a laser to show where to connect the DNA, like the ladder that runs up the middle of the DNA. And there it is. And now I'm putting the actual pieces where those rods were. And there they are. They're not welded, but they're in place. They're tacked in place. And now the two structures are connected to each other. And you can see that. And now I'm connecting the feet to the DNA. Now it's been electropolished, so it's super shiny. And now it's connected to the figures. All clean and beautiful. like the finished product. And thank you for watching.